Alrighty, guys, we're back for Temur Food, and this is an Outlaws of Thunder Junction standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. So we got cards in here like Freestrider Lookout. This is a 3-mana 3/3 with reach. Okay. Whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. And we have been seeing a lot more opponents playing with Freestrider Lookout, and it's a pretty scary card, dude. And it's no joke in a ramp build, which is kind of very much what this is. Even though we only have 25 land in here, we should be able to see a land every time we see the top 5. If we don't, I would actually consider that a little unlucky. So how are we planning on committing crimes in here? Well, we have a couple different ways, but I'd say one of the main ways is actually going to be Food Fight. This is a 2-mana enchantment. Artifacts you control have for 2. Sacrifice this artifact. It deals damage to any target equal to 1 plus the number of permanents named Food Fight you control. Nice. So we do have a whole bunch of like food packed in to work well with this whole artifact theme. Like a couple candy trails, that'll do a thing every now and then. We have 4 tough cookies. Heck yeah, we have 4 welcome to Sweettooths as well. A noteworthy card in here for sure is going to be Doppelgang, actually. So for triple X, a green and a blue, it is sorcery speed. For each of X target permanents, create X tokens that are copies of that permanent. Very interesting card. I don't think I've actually been able to... I don't even know if I've played with it before, but if I have played with it, I've definitely never actually been able to cast it, right? So it'll be very interesting to see if we're able to do something neat with this today, especially since the plan here is to actually ramp really significantly with Knight of Sweet's Revenge. This is a 4-mana enchantment. When it ETBs, you create a food, and then foods you control have tap for a green mana. Nice, that's pretty cool. Then also for 5 and double green, you can sacrifice Knight of Sweet's Revenge. Creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X are the number of foods you control. Activate only as a sorcery. This will be very interesting, huh? So as you guys can see so far, it's going to be a very janky list, but it's also like very neat how it is put together. So I want to say it again. Thank you again for the suggestion from the Discord. This is very, very close to that original deck list, but I did make some changes here and there. I think one of the some of the changes that I made most significantly were actually like the top end. I don't believe Roxanne made the original cut, but here it is in my list as a 2 of. It is a 5-mana 4/3. When it ETBs or attacks, you create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite with, when it ETBs, it deals 2 damage to any target. So more ways for us to commit crimes and whatnot, and then also just fits that artifact theme quite nicely with the food fight and whatnot too. And then also Meteorite is just a mana rock too, so you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color, which is pretty good, man. Then also on Roxanne here, whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, add 1 mana of any type that token produced. So that pairs pretty nicely with the Knight of Sweet's Revenge, potentially doubling the amount of mana we're generating from the food that we already have on the board. Another card that made the list is actually the Borborygmos and Fblthp. Heck yeah, dude. I'm interested to see if this is actually going to do a thing for us today. Also rocking a 1 of Kellan, and then also on the top end we have a Realm-Scorcher Hellkite. Cool. Now, more noteworthy things, the Goose Mother made the cut. More ways for us to get a lot of food onto the table all at once, right? We also have an Agatha Soul Cauldron, kind of fitting like the artifact theme and whatnot, and just like in general in here, I think it's going to be pretty good because it also helps us commit crimes and whatnot too. Other cards that help us or air if we are committing crimes is actually a 1 of Magda, which also generates treasures, which also fits that artifact theme for the food fight. Over in the mana base, guys, it looks like a mess, but there's some rhyme to this reason over here. So we got like the desert lands, for example. We have 1 canyon. We have a couple backwoods. We also have a couple Lush Oasis too. Just 5 deserts, but it could be really interesting to maybe copy the deserts a few times off of like a Doppelgang or something, as all of these deserts are dealing 1 damage to target opponent when they ETB. So also helping us commit crimes and stuff too. Also, a Mirrex is noteworthy. We have a Who Endures, Crucible, Defiance, and Soaring City for just more utility lands. No honorable mentions today. I'm not really sure what would have made the honorable mentions, honestly, outside of just like stuff that we already see in generic Temur ramp and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not worth even mentioning, honestly. Okay, guys, let's go ahead, save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. In the meantime, let's take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I think I already said it when we were going over it. It's going to be pretty janky, man, but dude, doesn't it look so cool? I'm so excited to try this one out. This is also like our third Temur list since the new set came out. It might only be the second one, but I feel like it's the third one, honestly. I actually really like Temur. I really like this color combination. We go first. This is not a bad hand, is it? Or a hand that we can't complain about too much, especially going first. All right. So right into a Lush Oasis here, I would say. That way our turn 3 doesn't get caught up. Like, we want to make sure Lookout comes down no matter what on turn 3. We still want our turn 2 food fight too, so. Copperline Gorge from the opponent. Ooh, second food fight. That'll be interesting. Food fight number 1. Lookout coming down on time here, as well as a Lush Oasis next turn for the crime. See if we'll see if Lookout survives a lightning strike though, huh? Alright, Dreamroot Cascade. Nice. I don't think we mind seeing more mana right now, right? Go ahead and get the Lookout down, and we'll see if it survives the turn. If it does, then this is pretty good, man. We're not going to have too many artifacts on the board yet, but I feel like we curved out quite nicely. Oh, I wonder if they go Wicked Roll onto that Scallywag. They do not. They go Treasure. Okay. Doppelgang. That'll be interesting. So we could go the Reef and get the Knight of Sweet's Revenge down right away, right? That could be fine. I think I'd rather just go food fight though. And we'll start by seeing what land we see off the Lookout. So we'll start with the Lush Oasis, get the crime. Look at the top 5, grab a land. It does enter tap. They do have 2 mana open here, by the way. So this also could have just been a lightning strike that they were holding open. All right, Backwoods. More damage to the opponent's face. And then... yeah, nothing else. So let's go for that food fight, huh? Yeah, it's too bad the food fight doesn't enter and generate like a food. That would be pretty sick, actually. Oh, do we swing? Should I have swung? Oh, crap. Well, we shouldn't have played the food fight first, but now I'm thinking we want to swing. Right? Yeah, I'll swing. That's a really good double block, if anything, right? Or like we take a combat trick out of their hand, or we get 3 through, and we're pretty happy about that too, I suppose. It does open up the possibility for the opponent to have a really good swing, but I think that's fine. I think we're in a good spot here. So we will have the Doppelgang for X's 1 next turn, if that's something we want. I don't think so yet. I think we're gonna try like X's 2 or something. Or maybe try something with the Knight of Sweet's Revenge. Triple Scoundrel, save 1 as a blocker for an emergency. That makes sense to me for sure. And they still have 2 treasure open as well. Welcome to Sweettooth. Not bad, not bad. All right, dude. Yeah. You guys suppose they block the Lookout? Or should we actually save the Lookout? Probably not. I think we want to push while we can push, right? Let's go for the swing before I overplay cards again. Because I think they chump with the Scoundrel. Oh. Okay. Opponent's down to 11. Create a food token. on the Knight of Sweet's Revenge, and check this out, guys. The food taps for a green source. And also taps for the food fights as well. Actually, we might do one of those next turn. We'll take the 2 down to 14. They generate the treasure off the breaches there. Tough cookie, bro. I mean, that's pretty good, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do have X's too on the Doppelgang. Could like copy a treasure or something from the opponent, get the Freestrider Lookout, crime, and then like copy maybe the Knight of Sweet's Revenge. It's actually a pretty tough decision, I would say. It's a sorcery too. Dude, I want to do this before I miss the opportunity to do this, you know? So let's copy a treasure, Knight of Sweet's Revenge, and a treasure. Wow, I guess we could also just copy a creature from them too, huh? Maybe the breaches, because of the first strike. I like the treasure too because of the food fight option then. But just like, no, I'll go treasure. I'll go treasure. For the sake of just like doing the artifact thing with these food fights. We only hit a forest, unfortunately, off the Lookout. Would have been cool to hit. So we get 2 of those, 2 more of those, and then we can play the tough cookie off of those. That's kind of insane, dude. And it was 2 treasures as well. And we do... I mean, I don't even know where to begin, huh? We could use the 2 to start popping things with the food fight, I guess. I guess we can do that on their turn, too. We have enough food here to just do the food fight to the opponent's face the rest of the time. So we just have to, like, survive the turn. Oh, since we were generating 2, by the way, if we would have generated 2 breaches, that would have been pretty bad because it is a legendary creature. Oh, scoundrel. Guys, what was I even thinking? We could have generated 2 scoundrels and just generated the treasure tokens that way. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I guess I wasn't thinking there. We could have had more chump blockers on the ground then. So that's definitely noteworthy. They go for the swing. I think we can just chump the breaches. They take the Lookout out of the equation so we can't block the Scallywag. I don't even know if I was gonna block the Scallywag because they still have treasure open, you know? So probably just take the 2. Regardless, we want to keep as much of our artifacts on the board as possible here. As we're just going to start throwing things at the opponent's face. This is going to be so much fun. I'm going to keep the treasures too because we're about to untap, so. All right, let's do this. More mana. I don't even mind seeing it. That is a 10/10, by the way. It doesn't have trample or anything fancy. All right, let's do this, man. So, pay 2. Ping the opponent's face. This is so sick because, like, the food is tapping for part of this too as well. I guess we'll just grab the Cascade. No worries, right? Pay 2. The food taps itself for part of it. This is awesome, dude. Yeah, that Doppelgang could have been much better had I copied the scoundrels, but like it's still totally fine. Still did the thing. I can't believe how cool that freaking was, dude. I can't believe how well it worked too. Everything lined up really, really nicely. I'm satisfied, man. That was awesome. Holy cow. Like we could have misplayed for like 4 turns in a row and the deck still would have done a thing. That's what that felt like, you know what I mean? Like things just really lined up beautifully for us. And the Lookout is such a I don't even know where to start with the Lookout, right? It ends up being a pretty good blocker overall. I really like that it has reach. The reach didn't really come into play there, but they did drop the Dracosaur, so if we had to like chump it for some reason, right? The extra ramp is kind of insane on the Lookout. It looks pretty easy to actually pull off the crime on our turn and the opponent's turn as well. Okay, we can keep this. Yep, and we'll totally start with the Copperline Gorge. So the Kellan adventure side is investigate. So that gets us a clue, fits the artifact theme. And you may play an additional land this turn as well. If we see land, that could be worthwhile. Maybe we do it anyways, because we could, it's still a little bit of ramp here. Okay. Yeah. That's not bad, right? We'll play that additional land for the turn, because we could see land off the top for like the next 4 turns. But also the Kellan side of things here, the Flying Vigilance 3/4. When it attacks, destroy up to 1 target artifact. If you control that artifact or that permanent, draw a card. Pretty neat card. I think this is like the first time I'm playing with this too, honestly. Phoenix Chick. Okay, swinging for 3. Come on, land. Oh, no land. Could draw off the clue. This might be the style of deck where we want 26 mana, honestly, guys. We could crap. Maybe we draw a land off the clue, right? Let's risk it. Why not? We're up against mono red. They could like run away with the game next turn anyways. Oh no. Okay, definitely considering the 26, but it's only 1 game, so we'll see how the next one goes too. If we go up to 26, what would we drop? Probably some of our 4-ofs, right? Or one of our 4-ofs that we might not need 4 of. Down to 10. It's going to be a tough cookie off the top, guys. Let's just get like Welcome to Sweettooth down and get a 1/1. I think we're super duper dead. Nano flips. It looks like the opponent might be missing their 3rd mountain too. I don't think that matters too much, honestly. We have a great chump into the adversary, but like Monstrous Rage exists, so at any point we could be dead easily this turn, right? Like as simple as a Monstrous Rage play with fire. Or play with fire. Wait. I mean, we're at 10, so... Oh, Feldon. Okay, I'll chump. We chump while we can. Down to 4. Hey, there's some land. Heck yeah, dude. It's a tapped land, unfortunately. So that would have been much better earlier on. We'll get it down. We'll go Tough Cookie. It gets us another food. I guess that's something to say. If that was an untapped land, right? We would have had the food. We would have had a block. Maybe going up to 7 and surviving the turn. Likely not, though. Opponent does find their 3rd mana finally too. But we'll just block the... We'll block the etching. Like... Oh, there's the Monstrous Rage. I wonder if they had that last turn too. Yeah, so we're dead no matter what from the Phoenix Chick in the air. So we'll go ahead and block here. And contemplate the 26th. But not quite yet. Definitely need to get like a couple more games in before we decide. And a Lightning Strike too. Oh, buddy, even if we saw the mana, we would have had to have like 1 serious lineup to actually come out of that alive, huh? Yeah, because the opponent had 1 serious lineup there. So we would have had to like really do something. All right, let's see. So 3 out of the 25, not necessarily unlucky, because we saw the 4th and only... It was a little late. Yeah, we can't call that unlucky with 25. Not quite yet, right? That's just gonna happen sometimes. Oh, only 2 in the opener, no green source. No artifacts to work with the food fight. We do go first, though. All the more reason to mulligan, because we're not on the draw. All right. All right. I say we keep this. And potentially the Doppelgang, because that's the furthest away. Right? I think so. That's fine. We'll start with the Lush Oasis. No worries about, like, worrying about the crime or anything like that. Did I go over the Bristlebud Farmer when I went over the list? I might have. Well, I was trying to briefly go over it, so I just kind of brought up some of the names of the cards that are in here so we could go over it in more depth at the end of the video like I try to do, but... Bristlebud Farmer, dude. 4 mana, 5/5 trample is no joke. When it ETBs 2 food tokens is kind of disgusting. Fits the theme of the list very nicely. One of the main reasons we only have 2 of them in here is because I only have 2, and they're mythic. Like, the big score has been so incredibly expensive. Oh, hello, opponent. We don't get too many hellos, buddy, so... I will gladly drop you that hello in return. Play that extra land, and now we're actually ramping successfully with it, too. As, oh, more mana, too. Okay. What do you guys think? Bristlebud Farmer instead of the Kellan? Kellan has flying and vigilance. We could start flying over these. Well, trampling over him too with the farmer, though. I'm going to go Kellan over the farmer. We could go Bristlebud Farmer and then start popping some of the food, which I guess we wouldn't want to do. We'd want to start with the clues and draw that way. I guess the main reason to go Kellan is just to start flying in the air, but... Dream Thief. Okay. So we got some Sultai Insidious Roots, which should be very scary for us, honestly. We start with the swing, I would assume. That seems pretty good to me, and we'll pop the artifact to draw, so we don't have to pay the 2 off the clue, right? More land. I'm not upset about the extra land right now. I think it's going to be the Bristlebud Farmer, so we can start swinging with this next turn too. Even though getting through Welcome to Sweettooth sooner might be a little better. This is actually pretty sick, man. A lot of synergies packed in. I like it. Malevolent Hermit. Dude, what's up? One of my favorite blue cards. Nice to see someone else playing with it in this day and age, huh? Yeah, we'll probably start with popping one of the foods off the Kellan, get that draw. Restocks our hand really nicely. They don't have great blocks here, do they? Yeah, we start with the draw. Let's do this. Right, so Bristlebud Farmer, you may sacrifice a food if you do mill 3 cards. Yeah, dude, we're going for it. Restock our hand. Get rid of that food. Mill 3. What a permanent. Ooh, Crucible, but no, Tough Cookie. Nice. This is cool, man. I'm gonna block with Archaeologist. Oh. Cool block, dude. Wow. Let's take care of the Archaeologist, and wait. We take care of 3 of their creatures like this. Right? Put the Archaeologist in the back. I guess at that point we want to take care of the Analyst first. Wow. 3 cards for the price of 1, huh? But they like things being in the grave, so they can start getting like the roots going. Now we just want to dump as much onto the board as possible here. Definitely going to be Lookout for the turn. And I guess Tough Cookie can chill in hand as we want to flip the Welcome as soon as possible. Not flip it, but get through the sagas and stuff. Pretty sick so far. Interested to see how much the opponent is going to be able to pop off here. Got a Surveil. 4 open mana. They go for Dream Thief, draw, Insidious Roots, plant. Down to 12. Kellan's putting in some work in the air, huh? Rubble Belt Maverick. All right, good. Getting a terrific blocker on the ground, or just in general on the ground here. More mana. Pretty gross. Probably going to be Canyon, and we probably do this before combat to thin out the top of the deck, or just thin out the deck in general of land. Definitely grab the Lush Oasis too, just more damage in general here. This is so sick, dude. What on earth is even happening? We don't have a great swing with the food on the ground. In other words, Tough Cookie. I'd rather swing and see if we see something better. Actually, 1, 2, 3. Okay, no, we'll do that. Swing on the ground. They block there. It doesn't get around the archaeologist. Only takes out one plant. I changed my mind, actually. Yeah. Just swing with the Kellan. Pop the food. Ooh, okay. See, it was worth holding back, huh? Knight of Sweet's Revenge. Into the tough cookie. Get a whole bunch more food down. We get to tap that food, too, for it. That's so sick. That's so cool, man. And then next turn, we can buff the Kellan. They really want to find some removal for this. This is a menace for them. Like, it's keeping our hand so beautifully stocked. Oh, they do find a chump blocker, though, off the Benevolent Geist. Dude, I love the Malevolent Hermit. Food fight. Holy cow, dude. Wow. So I guess we'll buff the Kellan anyways. And then we'll... So that's 7, right? We'll drop our land, drop the food fight. Pop the food, take out the Geist. Right? Well, that's a crime, so we get a land. They drop the GG. Hey, good game, opponent. I couldn't imagine it lining up any better than that. Wild stuff, dude. Holy cow. Heck yeah, I had fun. Oh, man. All right, let's keep going. We're kind of in jank Christmas land, huh? I mean, this, like, it's doing the thing. And it's doing the thing very well. As far as teamer lists go, I mean, like I said, we played like 2 to 3 teamer lists. I do forget since Outlaws came out. A lot of teamer recently, and so far, funny enough, this list is doing more than the other lists, even though the other lists were more serious. Were supposed to be more serious. The only 2 mana, see, we still want to consider 26, but like that last game, we definitely had too much mana too, so... Did we try it? Opponent goes first. Alright. Give it a shot. Test the deck to its absolute limits. All we need to do is see a land off the top and have that lookout ready. Could be easy peasy. Duress. You monster. You hit my soul cauldron. Alright, let's get that Copperline Gorge down. We got lucky enough to still see something to play on turn 2 with the food fight. Tangled Colony can't block. There's the mana, alright. Now we do have Lookout available for turn 3. And they know it. Of course, more mana off the top would be fine and dandy. Honestly, Tangled Colony might be an issue. Because it gets by the Lookout really nicely. We don't want to trade into it by any means either. It's a pretty bad trade for us. So until like the Roxanne comes down and, well, never mind. This is just a 4-3, not a 4-4. So even the Roxanne doesn't block really well here. So Goose Mother? Oh, Trespasser. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's a solid lineup from the opponent. Still going to be Lookout for the turn, right? Yes. I believe so. It kind of feels like it's going to be spot removal right away, but it might not be. Like, you know, we're up against mono black, so we play a creature and we're like, oh, go for the throw, or any of the other onslaught of removal that mono black could be running. Misery Shadow still got 2 open. Kind of on the edge of my seat. I know one thing, we want Lookout to survive, but we don't even have a crime in hand to commit for the Lookout. It's going to be Sheoldred's Edict, swinging for 6 for the turn. Oh, man. Actually, they could have, I guess... Hold up. They exiled their, wait. Oh, Sheoldred's... I guess they missed 1 damage that turn, right? No. Yeah. Before playing Shadow, if they would have dropped Sheoldred's Edict first, it would have went to the grave. Then Shadow could come down main phase 2, swing, Trespasser picks up our Lookout, so we'd be at 10. I think the opponent's thinking, I'm not sure how much it matters right now, right? Because they have a really good lineup. We have X's 2 on Goose Mother. A 4/4 flyer is not bad, and we get a food from it too. It's half rounded down. Not bad. It isn't. We're going to go for it. Hopefully we see land off the top for the Roxanne, and that's another thing, man. We got to consider that 26th because it's going to be plenty of moments where we just want to see 5-on-5. Duress, no, my knight. My Knight of Sweet's Revenge, which has been a really cool card so far, dude. Go for that swing. So they can buff Misery Shadow above the Goose Mother quite effectively. If we block the colony, they get 4 rats. Actually, a really cool deck from the opponent, man. We don't see mono black like this very often. Right? Yeah, dude, because I'd be sweating a lot less if these Misery Shadows were like a Tenacious Underdog or something. I mean, Tenacious Underdog still gets around like the Lookout and stuff very often. So they want to buff the Shadow to 6 and bring us down to 5, and it's looking pretty good for the opponent, but we do have some life gain to think about for the food. When Goose Mother swings, you may sacrifice a food and draw a card. We could do that if we want to find that mana, and maybe they max out the Shadow this turn, so we have a chance of actually popping it off of Food Fight or Roxanne. Roxanne preferably, right? Come on, max it out. Okay, they max it out. We're going down to 5. Land off the top. Land off the top would be huge. There it is. All right. Dude. We get to keep the Goose Mother back. All right, Roxanne. Decent enough blocker. Meteorite pops the Misery Shadow. And the opponent still really has a terrific board state because they got 4 rats over there. Some spot removal off the top. Does not end the game, actually, but it comes close. Oh, no, it ends the game because Trespasser picks up the creature out of the grave, puts us down to 4. And then the full swing, we block Trespasser and still take the 4 from the rats. Really neat mono blacklist from the opponent, though, honestly, dude. Couple underplayed cards, especially the Misery Shadow. It's definitely something to consider because exiling always feels like it does the thing, you know what I mean? Tangled Colony, too. It can't block, but look at how much it's doing against us right now. A big thing here is we're going to want to make sure if we survive the turn... Wow, Tangled Colony, dude, very nice. So no great swings from the opponent unless they want to poke a couple through with the rats. Mana off the top isn't terrible for us as we get to keep Tough Cookie open with our foods as well. If you tap an artifact token for mana, so we can tap this. It's tough because we could also poke... No, only 2 damage. Yeah, we only have 1 food fight. We could poke some of the rats. Poking the colony isn't great. Not until it's their turn, at least, for the food fight. If that's what we even want to do. Probably not. So we'll tap this. 1 mana of any color. Green, green. Because of the Roxanne. Get the Tough Cookie down. Tough Cookie dumps an extra food. And we could go for the draw on the Goose Mother. Probably not great if we do that. I think we just play the forest. No. We might need the forest to discard for the Trespasser when it comes time. Awkwardly save everything back. When Roxanne attacks as well, we do get a colorless artifact. We could take out the colony then. We do have enough life gain here. That's probably worthwhile, right? Swing with this, see where they block. Tangled Colony can't block. You could just take out a rat over here instead. Right? That's probably fine too. No, I'll take out the colony. because that's only 2 damage. But then they get to attack with those 2, so we could have done that on their turn. This is a tough round for me, guys. There's a lot to consider here, as there's cards that we just don't see too often. Oh, they do end up blocking. Trespasser out of the equation. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to get 6 on the board to make sure we have enough to power up both foods if we want to. And don't forget, maybe we just power up 1 and then sacrifice it. Okay, they pass it back. Tough decisions, man. Very tough decisions. It's going to nighttime here. I'm going to go for the draw on the Goose Mother. I think that's totally fine, huh? See what ends up happening. Sacrifice a food. Gonna be a lookout. Not bad. Okay. We get 4 through. Anything other than a land would have been pretty decent for us. I'm still gonna play the land, I suppose. They might have some... They might be like a Liliana style build. Realistically, we don't know what we're up against, but I suppose keeping our hand empty is fine. Target non-creature artifact. We can also power up the meteorites too. That's definitely noteworthy. Because we could do that and then still tap the food for life if we need to. Like, they're going to be passing back here. At what point do we just want to start going all to the opponent's face? Borborygmos! What's up, buddy? And Fblthp. All right. Enters the battlefield or attacks. Draw a card. Now I'm going to start with this. And then you may discard any number of lands, but we don't have any. So Welcome to Sweettooth is pretty good too, huh? So I'll go Goose Mother then. So we drew off the Borborygmos. This has reach. We should still be cautious enough, right? Until next turn at least. I will sacrifice the last food. It's a land. That's okay. On us down to 12, and we should have lethal next turn if they can't... If they don't end up pulling this off, huh? We have the food fight ability available as well as the tough cookie ability available. No, we don't. We no longer have the tough cookie ability available, but a bunch of chump blockers. So hopefully we don't end up dying here, huh? Because this costs 3 to power up a non-creature artifact, and we only have 3 now, so... Tenacious Underdog going for the blitz. Heck yeah. Down to 10. Dropping the full swing, I'd assume, if they're going for the underdog. And then we full block and hope that the last 2 here doesn't, by some miracle, deal the last bit of damage through. 7 creatures, and we can only block 4 of them. So going down to 2. And I don't know what that last 2 mana would be. This easily could have been anyone's game, and I suppose it still is easily anyone's game. But the way the opponent's holding up right here kind of makes it feel like maybe we got there. The Goose Mother draws was awesome. Drawn on the Borborygmos. Lots of ways to keep our hand nice and stocked up. How cool was the Roxanne, dude? Totally worthwhile taking out the Tangled Colonies. But seriously, though, I'm going to say it again. A pretty cool mono blacklist from the opponent, just playing some creatures we don't see all the time. Mixed with creatures that we do see often. Tenacious Underdog, Graveyard Trespasser, of course, we see. But the Misery Shadow and the Tangled Colony kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. It's kind of a little bit hard to play around, and we had a lot of tough decisions there, too. Okay, we'll go ahead and pause until the opponent shows up. Okay, the opponent is on the final timeout here. And it is over. GG opponent. Well, it is what it is. Hey, you know, you never know. They might have froze there. They very well might have froze. Total deck win rate today, 75%. Not too bad, man. Now, usually I would say something like, let's go overtime and play this again because it's so dang fun, but I actually have to wrap it up a little sooner, unfortunately. And since we're 40 minutes in, we still might talk about the deck list here at the end for like another 10 minutes. You never know. So yeah, this was a ton of fun, dude. Holy cow, huh? This was awesome. I believe we have, oh, end of video pack here, I see. Let's do it. It's a new one, too. Outlaws of Thunder Junction has been a pretty cool set so far, hasn't it? We got Rush of the Dead. Nice. That might be my third one, maybe. Might be my fourth, honestly. I'm not 100% certain. Oh, and it didn't pop up here. Where is it? There it is. It's my third Rush of the Dead. Cool. Okay, anyways. Here's the deck list again, guys. Nice. I liked this, man. Everything felt pretty good. The big thing, do we want the 26th mana? I'm still not 100% certain. What would we drop for the 26th? I'm still not 100% certain. Maybe it's like the Candy Trail. Just drop down to one of these, go up to 26th mana, be happy about it, right? Oh, guys, before I forget too, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link as well, just in case you're interested in supporting the channel that way. Definitely something to check out. I've been trying to say it more in like the middle of the videos. I still forget. So, I mean, here I am at the end of the video saying it a little bit sooner than the very end of the video, I suppose, right? And one of the main reasons to join the Patreon, of course, is the pretty much guaranteed patron suggestions. You guys can drop your suggestions, and then I will get around to those first before any other suggestions, before the Discord suggestions like this deck was, and I get around to the patron suggestions before the comment suggestions too, of course, right? So a little bit of priority for all that. Okay, anyways, the deck list. What do we got? What could we drop for the 26th mana? Like the Realm-Scorcher Hellkite, I wanted more on the top end, and it kind of made a lot of sense to me where like you could use the Realm-Scorcher Hellkite's ability a lot if you have a lot of artifacts with like Knight of the Sweet's Revenge, using the foods to actually be able to ramp and actually use all that mana for just extra pinging to the opponent's face. That bottom ability on the Realm-Scorcher, of course, is a crime too. It pairs pretty nicely with like Agatha's Soul Cauldron if you pick up the Realm-Scorcher from the grave. Plugging counters onto extra things. Some things just come in with counters for the Soul Cauldron too, already giving them the extra abilities, right, while you have the Soul Cauldron out there, like the Goose Mother, for example. And the Goose Mother was pretty cool. We were starting to run low on foods, which is maybe some reason to consider like a third Bristlebud Farmer as well. I wouldn't drop like the Kellan though, because the Kellan totally did a thing today too. I think I will. There's a lot of one-ofs already. I think we'll drop down to one Candy Trail. Go up another land. But what land is the question? We have a lot of tap land already. Oh, overall, the mana base felt pretty good, didn't it? Felt pretty good overall. We have anytime blue and red for a lot of the splashing of the blue and red for the later on, right? And anytime too, meaning early red sources for like food fight and stuff. We have early green, early red here for especially the early green on Cookie and Sweettooth and all that other fun stuff too. Early red, again, food fight, Magda. And then we have late green, late blue. When we get to our blue things, we're doing the blue things late, right? Like we did the Goose Mother for X's 2, and we did the Doppelgang for X's 2, which was 8 mana. So yeah, late blue makes sense. Dreamroot Cascade. The dual lands really ended up working out. And of course we had 5 of the deserts, which also really ended up working out. Maybe it's just like the second Mirex. Does that work for us though? Yeah, I think so. We're heavily leaning towards green too. Hence the heavily leaning towards the forests here. And we got a little bit more red than blue, but we still got an even split between the mountains and the utilities. I think the Mirex would be fine, and I think the 26 mana would be fine too. I mean, I was sweating about it in all those games for a reason. You're going to want to see extra lands in your hand sometimes from Borborygmos and Fblthp as well. You're going to want to see more lands in general, so that way you're not missing on the lookout. There were some times where we saw the top 5, but only saw 1 land. Going up to 26 kind of helps that out as well. Any other reason to go up to 26? Yeah, I mean, the deck is just very expensive overall. You are looking at, like, first of all, the only real key ramp piece here being Lookout. Another ramp piece with Knight of Sweet's Revenge too, but you got to kind of combo off and actually have a lot of foods on the board for that to work out too. And even if you are pulling off a lot of ramp with Lookout and a lot of ramp with the food, you're still going to be end up like using all of that extra mana as well, because you're spending a lot of that extra mana to pop off with Food Fight, for example, and like just drain all of your artifacts off the board at the opponent's face. Still a lot of just expensive top-end things if you're going to end up playing those big things from your hand, as well as wanting to do other things as well, especially the ones that restock your hand. Being able to do Borborygmos and Fblthp, draw into Lookout, play Lookout, that's 8 mana already, and still be able to like play one of your crime lands or something. You know, you never know. That is a serious line of play that could actually happen. Especially if you ended up ramping out with any of this stuff as well. So yeah, I think I think that's the only thing I want to change too. Overall, like, we still got to consider it janky, but boy, oh boy, did it do a fun thing today. It's so much fun. Exactly what you want from a teamer list that you would want to consider jank, right? Like, this is exactly what you want it to feel like. So I couldn't have asked for better games, a better showcase overall. I'm very happy we got to do the Doppelganger today. I'm very happy we got to see Kellan today, just cards I just really didn't get to play with. We don't get to like play with Simic colors too often either. Even though I said I've been playing a lot more Teamer, it's still not something that I do very often. So it's just awesome to play with these cards. Okay, guys. Hey, you made it this far into the video for real. Y'all are champions. Let me know if you enjoyed the deck list as much as I enjoyed it. In the meantime, I will see you in the next video.